Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is RandoGEEK. We're doing a follow-up of Verizon's layoff situation. So this is probably like the third follow-up I've done with it. But we have some new things to report here, some impact that has been taken place by this situation. So what happened here is Verizon has laid off a number of employees, which we talked about. Now, the numbers that we're getting here are different, so they differentiate from what our original sources had told us. However, I still believe that we're on track to meet those numbers at some point, probably by the end of the year. So currently we're sitting at 13,000 layoffs. We were told that Verizon can lay off as much as 20,000 employees. Like I said, I still think that that's happening. It's probably being downplayed by Verizon's team so that it doesn't look as bad. Remember, people are paying attention, investors are watching, customers are watching. They don't want to make too much of a scene, even though this is pretty dramatic as it is. 13,000 does sound a little better than 20,000 in the eyes of everyone paying attention. So we'll have to keep following up on that and see if the totals continue to rise. But currently, the issue here is, besides the fact that many were laid off, many customers and current employees that work for Verizon are being impacted dramatically by this decision Verizon has made. I do think Verizon could have done this a little bit better. They could have handled the situation in a less aggressive manner. They could have done this in phases. They could have started with, say, 2,000 employees this quarter, 2,000 employees next quarter, or whatever it is. However they want to divvy it up. Maybe 13,000, maybe you want to do that into 3 different quarters, or at least 2. Anything would have been better than, this bulk amount here. But this is what we got. Many employees are being forced to do multiple tasks now. So they're basically taking on the jobs of the branch representatives that are no longer there. We're also hearing word that many important positions are being axed, such as operations. Now, the operations team assisted employees in branch with tech support and other duties that customer service teams are now being pushed to handle on their own. And they're being bombarded with numerous of calls, and these departments are really small as it is. They're understaffed, so they're being forced to seek help from additional coworkers in other areas, looking for any kind of assistance that they can get. So those departments are now being impacted by this, and ultimately it's just a mess, right? So like calls are going to financial in regards to eSIM complications. Financial employees have no idea how to fix an eSIM situation. They're there to issue invoices and deal with payments problems. They don't know how to deal with tech support issues normally, right? So this is what we're dealing with here. And I think some important positions, like I said, were let go. Business directors have been terminated. So it looks like business representatives are going to have to do additional work now. No extra pay, no extra compensation for all this extra overtime that you're doing, I believe. And this is going to greatly affect small business, large business customers. Remember, Verizon makes a lot of money from business customers as well, not just consumer. In fact, they probably make a very large amount of money from business customers. Large institutions and small rely on Verizon to provide internet. So you have Fios customers, right, that operate the machines, right? They provide the internet for the company to do their transactions. Also, many institutions use Verizon Wireless for their cell phone coverage, right? Employees get phones from Verizon, iPhones, Androids, and they use Verizon as their network. If there's, an employee or something very serious going on and it affects the company from making money, let's say there's some kind of problem, let's say someone in a really high position has something wrong with their service, and they can't get guidance and it causes them a problem. Maybe they have a really important meeting, a really big deal that has to be made. This could cost the company a lot of money. Ultimately, they're going to get fed up, leave Verizon and go to the competition. So these are just things that can happen. This is how it can be very impactful on Verizon right now. I'm pretty sure this was considered when they made this decision. They knew it was going to get really bad before it can get better. And they're willing to take that chance because they need to close a lot of these branches. There's apparently a lot of mess going on, a lot of employees not doing their job. I think a lot of third-party locations are coinciding and interfering with, regular locations and branches, causing more problems. So it's just kind of a mess. I guess that's why they're doing this. They need to save money. Obviously, they're losing customers left and right. I think they're going to lose even more customers now, like I said, as a result of this. Regular consumers during the busy holiday are going to need assistance. They're not going to be able to get that. So it's just a large mess. So I did want to keep you in the loop, let you know what's been currently happening. This is the result of their decision at this moment. So we'll have to see what it'll be like in the next couple of weeks. Are we going to get more tallies, right? Is those numbers going to grow? And if they do, we'll see how much more the company has been impacted by this. And also we'll see what Verizon looks like in a couple of months, if things are looking better or worse for them. As always, thank you so much for stopping by and watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.